Hey guys! So, we are in the garden today. It is 48 degrees and foggy. It's supposed to be 61-ish today, 62 maybe. But I want to, because I have said that I want to document all of this, there are some things that I need to talk about because I did a little planting the other day. I just about fell on acorns. There are acorns everywhere right now. Planting. What? It's March the 15th, and I did it on the 13th. So, there are cool season crops that you can actually plant before your last frost date, and they will still produce. So, in this bed, I planted lettuce. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of lettuce because this one and this one are the same. Let's see, there's two different types of butter crunch. There's a Tom Thumb. There is mixed leaf, and I don't remember what the other one is, but I will go in the house. I have it written down, and I will flash up on the screen what each of the five types are. We learned in my March garden tour, which I'll link above or down below, that my garden needs a lot of cleanup, obviously. I mean, you can see all the acorns that I'm tripping over. Okay, but I did clean out the beds that I planted, which was that raised bed right there. And then this bed. This bed, we have 2 types of carrots. We have rainbow carrots that came from M.I. Gardner, and we have Danner's carrots. I don't remember where. I'll have to flash that on the screen. The broccoli rapini came from Baker Creek. The kale winter boar came from Johnny Seed. And the spinach, I believe, is either Fairy Morse or Burpee. I just bought it at Home Depot the other day because that was one of the crops that they said you can plant in mid-March and still get a crop. They said that the lettuce, the couple of videos that I watched, said that the lettuce may take a little bit longer to germinate, but that it will do just fine, even if we got some snow or a light frost on it, which our last frost date is predicted for, it's either the 17th or the 18th of April. I can't remember. So anyway, these beds have been planted to cool weather crops that are supposed to do really well. Now, the other thing that they said was that carrots really like to be like cool, dark, moist soil. So if you remember, I have this lovely oak tree right here by my garden. And in the summer, my garden here gets probably 6 to 8, maybe even 10 hours of sun, depending on what time the sun rises, until it is overhead and depending on the tree cover. And then in the afternoon, it's not total shade. It's the, where you get splotchy shade because the tree doesn't completely cover it. And then once the sun gets to a certain point in the afternoon, it comes back in. So they actually just get shade in the hottest part of the day, which is really nice. And some plants actually prefer just a little bit of shade in that late afternoon, hot, blistery sun. So that's why I chose to plant the carrots in this bed. This is actually the bed that I planted them in last year. And they say you're supposed to swap up the beds that you plant your things in so that, you don't get bugs and disease and that type of thing. But I think my carrots will be okay. I really should have added more soil to this bed, but I didn't, and I haven't yet. Depending on how all of this stuff does, I may go ahead and add some a little bit later in the season. The broccoli rapini, it's like little florets of broccoli as opposed to a huge broccoli head, and it likes the cooler spring weather, as does the kale. Kale will actually produce all year long. It is drought tolerant, but it also likes the cool weather, so you can get a long harvest out of your kale if you take it right. And spinach will go on until it gets starting to get warm outside, like 80 degrees, and then spinach is done. So that's why I can probably, depending on everything and timing and whatnot, I can come in and add more soil to this later, and go ahead and be okay. And also carrots, they say to plant them in succession cropping, which is every 2 weeks you're supposed to plant so that you have a continuous I'm sorry, I got sidetracked by the cat. Anyway, this cat is hilarious. She's very funny. Anyway, carrots are supposed to be succession crop, so you can keep them going all year long. Finally, let's come over here to this other bed that I've planted. Well, first off, I think, if I remember right, this bed, and I know this bed here that runs perpendicular to all the rest of them, were planted to potatoes last year. And you have to worry about potato blight. I don't really know what that is, but I know it's not good. I haven't had to deal with it yet, so that's why I really don't know what it is, but they say to move it around. This bed here was planted to garlic last year, so I may plant the garlic bed to potatoes this year, or I may come in and plant it in one of those 3 beds. Boom, boom, boom. For the potatoes. I don't know how many potatoes I have left. I did buy some seed starters from Sam's, so I don't know, how good they're going to be or anything. It was just a box of like 18 or something. And then I think I have some potatoes that were left over that I harvested last year that I'm going to go ahead and just plant that will go ahead and produce. My great-grandpa always said that around here we plant potatoes on March 17th. Today I said was the 15th, so I have 2 days to figure out which bed I'm going to plant in and get it cleaned up. And then this bed here was planted to Swiss chard, bunching onions, yellow sweet Spanish onion, and radish Japanese wasabi. So the rainbow Swiss chard is in my gardener. The bunching onions, actually I have 2 packets of bunching onions in the house, and they're 2 different brands, and I can't actually remember which one I planted. I was trying to figure that out the other day. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I had 2 packages, and they have both been opened, I think. So I have to figure out which set of bunching onions I planted. The yellow sweet Spanish onion is from Baker Creek, as is the radish from Baker Creek. The radish was actually a free packet that they sent. And so they always say, radishes do really well in the spring, and they are also a succession plant where you should plant every 2 weeks so that you have a crop throughout. A couple others that I could have planted but I didn't have were like parsnips, all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank. Beets, that type of thing. So anyway, we have gotten a start on planting in the garden, and it's kind of fun and exciting. And I need to figure out again where I'm going to plant my potatoes, because I'm going to have to get them in the ground. This really is totally random, but I bought this. It got caught in snow the other day, so it kind of messed up the box. But I bought this storage bench. I've wanted one for a couple of years now. It's 60 gallon US, or 227 liters. I've been wanting one for a couple of years. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it. We have some plans for our house in the making, so it may stay up here, or else it may go down by the garden. But either way, it's a great place to store stuff. And So I bought one of these the other day. It was the very last one at Sam's. I've tried to buy it for the last, well, this will be year 3. I finally got it bought on year 3. Third time's a charm, right? And truthfully, since we're talking all things garden right now, I've got a bunch of seeds up. These are all flower seeds, different types. Each row has it marked what it is. These are actually vegetables. I haven't started most of my vegetables, but I started a few just because I couldn't help myself the other day. These are all flowers. These are all flowers. More flowers. I don't even know where I'm going to put all these. More flowers. Lisianthus, which they take a long time. Still aren't doing anything except for that one way back there. And I'm not sure they're going to, but that doesn't mean I'm not trying. These are more flowers. Get my thumb out of the way, sorry. More flowers. Not quite ready to take the dome off. And then finally, more flowers. Woo. Let's get it to focus. There we go. It's not wanting to focus real well. More flowers. So I need to get that propped open. So today I am planning on planting up vegetables. I have one row that I can add stuff to, and then I have no choice but to move out to the potting shed. But what I may do is move some of these that are doing really well out to the potting shed. But I've been watching the temperature, and in fact my husband bought me something the other day to help be able to monitor what the temperature is so that we can make sure, hopefully, knock on wood, let's find some wood, that I don't lose them due to like a cold snap or something. Like I said, I do have that space heater in there. We've got the grow lights, which add heat, and we've got the heating mats. So the other day though, the space heater wasn't working real well. It's not real consistent, and it was 98 degrees in there, which also will kill things. So I've got to figure out the space heater thing, and that's why I really haven't moved anything out there just yet. But we're getting ready to do some plants, some vegetable plants down on the bottom row, and we'll light that up too. And you can see my house from the road in the night when the lights are all out and it's dark outside. My grow lights in here are also set on a timer. They come on at 6 in the morning and they go off at 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, that is what's going on. I'm really ready for my April garden tour because I think it's going to be even better. So stay tuned.